Could I get your comment also? Wayne Phillips, our morning show host, he's been travelling around the Eyre Peninsula at the moment, and he's been picking up this frustration from regional businesses that they can't find the staff they need to be tradespeople, fitters and turners, diesel mechanics, etc. So they're saying, look, there may be, like at the moment, Labor's saying, well, we've got the highest unemployment in the nation, but he's saying, well, there's actually jobs there, they just can't find the staff to fill those, and apprenticeships is a good thing. We spoke with Minister Pisoni about that not long ago, but the challenge is that's 4 years off. If you start an apprentice now, the jobs are needed right now. What is there something the state government's able to do to help these regional businesses to get the workers they need?
Yeah, look, it is an important challenge for the government, and that is the matching of people who don't have jobs and the reality of jobs being available in regional communities in particular. And you may or may not have seen the government over the last few weeks has actually been advertising, saying there are jobs available in regional communities. And it's not just in those sort of trade areas, it's also in tourism and in hospitality, and also the seasonal jobs in terms of fruit picking. So the government is actually providing a range of incentives to encourage South Australians who live in the metropolitan area to be prepared to go to regional areas and to start looking for employment, perhaps in the trades areas, but more particularly also in seasonal work, but also in tourism and hospitality. And you don't have to do a 4-year apprentice to be a barista or to work in hospitality in a regional hotel or a cafe. So there are jobs out there, and the government is doing whatever we can to encourage South Australians to move. I think one of the other issues that the federal government has identified is they're going to now return to a more long-term, it's at a higher level of job seeker, and job keeper is going to finish in March. And so therefore the level of income that might be available to unemployed South Australians in the metropolitan area won't be as high, and that'll also encourage some South Australians perhaps to look at short, medium and long-term employment in the regional areas.
This other thing we're identifying is some people are saying there's a housing shortage out in our regions, not just here in SA but Victoria, but speaking about SA. Is that something that the government's detecting? Is there movement needed to try and create more housing in regional areas?
To be fair, there are early signs that there are some housing challenges because people, for a number of reasons, they're returning to South Australia, which is great news. We want to see our population grow. And some of them, when they're coming back to South Australia, are choosing to move into regional areas. Sometimes not long distances away from Adelaide, but certainly areas like the Barossa and Murray Bridge, and areas where you're only an hour or so away from metropolitan Adelaide, so you've got the benefit of the regional community living and the lower prices that are involved there. So yes, it is placing pressure in some regional communities, and it'll be a challenge. It's not just a role for government. If there's a demand in regional areas, then hopefully as the peak of home builder comes off, some of our housing companies will have a look and say, okay, or our developers will have a look and say, hey, there is a demand that we, with our private sector hat on, can look to meet as well.